I began the sketchbook about 3 months ago, and with most sketchbooks, the first page I like to put a lot of effort into, and this was sitting in my front room, so as you can tell from where I sit. The next morning I went on a trip up north with a couple friends, and this is stopping along the way and sketching the buildings and the nurseries. I often do continual line contour. We were in Cambria and visited the Hearst Castle. And this is just some of the close-ups of the architecture at the Hearst Castle. On the way home, stopping at La Purissima Mission and doing an interior sketch. Traveling to see family and to teach North Carolina, Tennessee, and visiting a local amusement park with my kids and grandkids. Visiting my daughter-in-law's bakery, which was really a lot of fun. So recording what was happening, our first visit to see it completed. Quick sketch with pencil. Sometimes pages don't need to be completed, as you can see here. Back home again, visiting some of the gardens around, and this was at Descanso Gardens. You'll see a lot of this. Of this garden, I like to visit quite often. This is meeting up with urban sketchers, sketching one of the museums near my home. Always thinking about page design. If I had something really big here, I wanted to balance it with something of equal weight to have the pages hold together, especially in kind of a panorama spread. Having coffee with a girlfriend, I was fascinated with the contraption of making coffee. And coffee shops are a very kind of familiar theme that you'll see in my books. This is a nursery. Well, not actually a nursery, I guess. This was actually a little Japanese garden near my home. And this was a pumpkin patch that visited once again with urban sketchers and did a little sketching there. Meeting up with urban sketchers again in Kenneth Hahn Park. I didn't feel like doing the trees, so I turned my back on the park and did a lot of the oil derricks and wanted to have a scene that felt more kind of gritty, not pristine and clean. I don't like all of my pages to look the same. As you can see, some of them, the writing is on the side. Other pages, like visiting the Getty Villa, the weight of the artwork is on this side, and using words over here to complete the story and balance the page. Without the words, the page doesn't have the weight that will hold up both sides. So with my illustrated journals, it's really important that the words complement the scene and not detract from it. Again, we're thinking of the holidays. We're having the Day of the Dead coming up, sketching in the parks with urban sketchers, recording what was happening, returning to Descanso Gardens. Kind of a day I just wanted to be alone. So I had sketched the angel trumpet flowers by myself. It was kind of a meditative day that I enjoyed. Coming back a couple days later. Here the feeling is very different, bright and colorful and a little happier. I liked what I drew from life here, and I have a feeling that there's something bigger that I want to do. So I've chosen not to paint it right now until I have a chance to think about it. It might become a bigger painting, but I really loved the old kettles that were aluminum all lined up together. This is more about family, genealogy, and history. and letting go of a very old satin emerald dress that belonged to my mother, and the story of the women. Once again, I'm talking about you've got an image on this side and the words need to have a balance. That's really important to me. Using the idea of the thread and the needle coming through as a way to show that how we're all kind of stitched together in the history of this dress, and recording the different 4 generations of women in my family here. Meeting up with urban sketchers, going to the Arboretum. Really liked this plant that's called a crown of thorns. Interesting shapes. And I always like doing botanicals. It's something that I relate to, and I like the layers of colors that I have a chance to build up. And last week, here we are. Urban Sketchers once again went out to Tapia Farms in Encino, and I loved just being at this Christmas tree lot. It felt very festive, enjoyed putting a few people into the scene. Having a little artistic license in how I got rid of a lot of things that were around. I eliminated that, but this is where I am finishing up my year.